Should you buy a house in today's current market, or should you be renting? Yo, so what's going on, everybody? My name is Alex Bear Hayden. I'm a Southern California real estate agent operating primarily in Orange County, primarily more in Irvine, California. And I wanted to put this video together to explain to you why it is still extremely beneficial for you to buy in today's market. Now, before we go any further, I have to start by saying this. I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy. To be very clear, if you have the ability to afford in today's market, you need to acquire real estate. If you cannot afford it, then continue to stack your bread, put your money to the side, and wait for your opportunity to be able to own. But this is what I don't want. What I don't want is people who can afford to buy in this market to wait for the market to crash or wait for the market to come down so that they have an opportunity to acquire real estate. What we're not going to see is a market crash. One thing that we are likely to see is housing prices come down. But as housing prices are coming down, interest rates are still increasing. What we saw in 2021, what we saw in 2020 is we saw prices increase and interest rates decrease. We're seeing the inverse right now. Interest rates are going up, housing prices are trending downward. But there's no crash that's going to happen. In 2008, there was a catalyst for a crash. There's no reason for a crash right now. Now, I want to get into the rental aspect of it. People are saying, I'd rather rent right now, I'd rather rent. Well, these are the things that you'd be missing out on if you decide to rent and you can afford to buy a house. One of the things is your interest rate is a write-off every single year. So you can add that to your taxes and say, hey, this is how much I paid in interest. And they are going to, now I'm not a CPA, but basically they deduct what you paid in interest off of your taxes. So a lot of people will get refund in accordance with however much they've been paying. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. Talk to a CPA about this, but you can absolutely write off the interest rate on your house. When you are renting, you don't write a damn thing off. Nothing is written off unless you are a business owner. If you're a business, and even then, if you're a business owner, only a subsection of your house can be written off. A subsection of your rent, a subsection of your utilities. But it pales in comparison to the tax advantages of actually owning a property. The second thing I wanted to address in this matter is the fact that your rent is going to increase every single year, unless you lock in a long-term lease. Most people lock in leases between 12 to 24 months. So what does that mean? That means every single year you have to renew your lease. You are going to incur a rental increase. So for example, the average rent in Irvine right now is $3,200. I've spoken to people who live in the nearby communities and the nearby apartment complexes, and just a year ago, they were paying $2,900. And when they are talking to their leasing agents in their leasing office, what they're being told is, yeah, you know, the rent is going to go up to $3,200. I spoke to one person and they were paying $3,000, and the leasing office said, look, this apartment can go for $3,800. We'll allow you to do it for $3,400. That's a $400 increase in 12 months. Why would you want that when you can own a property and you can pay the same mortgage every single month? Now, I get it, specifically in Irvine, it's a lot more expensive, but I'm going to make a house hacking video and I'm gonna post that so that you can understand how you can pay the same amount for your mortgage as you were paying in an apartment. So we see that when you're renting, your rent will always increase. And I guarantee you in 5 years, So many people are going to be priced out of California when they should have just owned a property and figured out a way to make it work. The second thing is you're not able to write off your interest rate when you're renting. And one thing I don't think a lot of people think of is you understand that you are paying an interest rate when you are renting, right? But you're just paying somebody else's interest rate. When you rent an apartment, you're paying somebody's mortgage. You're just not paying your mortgage. Again, I have to say this because I can't stress this enough. I get questions all the time. Should I buy? Should I buy? Should I buy? There's one determining factor that you should consider. Can you afford it? If you can afford it, acquire the property. If you cannot, it is what it is. There's no reason for you to force yourself into buying property. All right, there you have it. I detailed my reasons why I think everybody in today's market should be buying if they can afford it. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear about your gripes and complaints in the comments section. If you want more answers, if you want me to have a one-on-one consultation with you, all for free, on whether your situation deems a worthy situation to acquire real estate, then please reach out. My information is in the bio. My Instagram is as follows. Reach out to me via Instagram or TikTok. I check my DMs all the time. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one.